Alright, so explosions. Let's see if we can actually not die this time. So we are going to get the solid booster quest. What we can do with that. So explosions. This should at least fly. So we do have 40,000. We're going to do maybe if we do a crew report from the launch pad, we get 1.5 science. If I do an EVA for Bill, he really should hold on to this. So there we go. EVA report. This is the most precarious situation. Well, it's from the shore, so we already have that. Alright, so I'm going to keep my contracts open here because we need to test the parachute at a certain height. We need to test the booster. We need to test this. We may or may not be able to test it at the appropriate height. We might, though. We might be able to reach the right speed with this number of solid boosters. We'll try that first. Our goal is to get 22,000 meters. Can we do it? One way to find out here. I actually don't need to have my engines revved yet, because solid boosters first. Will this get us all the way into space? I do not know. So we do have one contract complete, because we tested the booster on the ground. That's good. Would love... Whoop. That wasn't supposed to happen, but that's overheating for you, so we do have one solid booster here. Looks like we're not going to be making it super far, but that's why I like having the radial decouplers and things on the side normally. Maybe we can do that a little bit better next time. So, decouple. Fire. Can we make it into space? I don't know. So let's see here. Tested the decoupler, but notice my speed was not high enough. So I actually did not get credit for that. So it looks like that's going to be a little bit more of a difficult test, and we actually need to make our gravity turn now. This may... oh my god. Overcompensating. There we go. May actually be able to do this. Because my fuel situation's pretty good. I just need to set an altitude record from the looks of it. My apoapsis is going to give me a new altitude record. There's no way I'm getting into orbit yet, because if I had put those solid boosters on better, I probably could have. Once I get those solid boosters, I can make rockets that can fly all the way to the moon. So that's pretty cool. So let's see here. Crew reports should still be over shores here. Alright, so we'll do that. Whoa! Why are we turning all of a sudden? So weird. I guess it's because I didn't have my SAS on. Alright, so are we in space is my question. And maybe I should save my fuel for a more fuel-efficient place here. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to actually be able to get into orbit. Whoa! Wow, I totally could have gotten into orbit with this, and I was too busy messing with career things. Well, at least we're going to hit space. And at least this vessel is not going to be stuck. So that's exciting. Well, okay, Bill, you are flying. Let's get another crew report. So let's look at the crew report, and let's actually transmit the data. Oh, I don't have a comms device. Oops. Alright, well, let's review the stored data. We can just ditch crew report, and what do we got now? Really should put a comms device on here. Once again, can't transmit, so... ugh. Dummy me, dummy me. Alright, so review report. Keep it. EVA, don't fly away from your vessel. Just above Kerbal's water, keep the data. Should be able to get that stored just fine. And here we go, surprise space visit. I did it. We're up in the air. This is going to shatter that altitude record we were talking about, and actually I'm going to need to be careful where I test this parachute at, because I may end up going too fast. But at least we did get one. Oh, we got 3 things done. Contract complete. Escape the atmosphere. Hooray! We get 15 signs for that. Pressure sensors all at 0. I haven't unlocked pressure sensors yet. You have broken Kerbal's atmosphere and reached space. Exciting. Altitude record, well done. I think I've set a few altitude records right now. And test complete, we got some good data here. So pretty cool. Like I said, I really like that aspect of it. So I've been pretty irresponsible here, because I could have gotten the orbit achievement with this rocket. And let's see here. Last mission, at least I'm not irresponsibly killing anybody yet, but we are going to be flying kind of towards the night. Let's go ahead and just see. Can we get any more crew reports? It looks like we're probably going to only get one, but we're going to have plenty of time to get more of those. So let's get another EVA out of here, because we should actually be in space just above Kerbal's water. Keep the data, and let's dump the experiment because we need to actually be flying over some specific land masses here. Should be able to, in just a moment, get something else. So this is at our peak, and this is actually a crew report from space high over Kerbal. Let's keep the data. Alright, so EVA, here we are now in high space. Pretty exciting. And while in space high over Kerbal, you record your observations. Boring. And I guess I could have actually put a goo experiment on here too. Oops. Not efficient spacing, but that'll come in time. Alright, so... And was that stored data? EVA while in space high over Kerbal, so it doesn't matter what land masses I'm over right now. So let's actually, like I said, I'd love to submit this, although if you look at my resources, my electrical charge is actually pretty low. But look at how much money I have, and look at my reputation just beasting right now. Alright, so, with that in mind, we still got one thing to do here. And that is to actually test this landing. Now we've pretty much flunked the decoupler, because there's no way in hell I'm going to wait that long. Well, let's look at it this way. If I wait that long to decouple, my ship's going to crash into itself with the... Well, I may be able to get that to work, but the parachute I don't think is going to slow it down enough, because I have to deploy the parachute somewhere 20,000 to 30,000 in the atmosphere, which is about 10% towards where we are right now. So let's time accelerate. Going back down. We're going to be splashing down in the water, so we will get another soil sample collection from that at least. I guess I should have collected soil sample with Jeb before for extra science. I'm missing out on all the science, and yet this is supposed to be some kind of introductory video. But I guess we can just make the excuse that my focus is on the career mode aspects and not on the gameplay aspects that I'm supposed to know by now. So we do have some fuel here. We do have some interesting... Like I said, I'm so used to my cloud cover in a different skybox. So this is all kind of coming back to me here, but we are going to be having a dark landing as my ship really likes rotating. I guess I could decouple now. I guess there's no reason not to. Other than, woo, we're flying. Okay. I mean, it's not like we're going to be able to change anything. Have not been able to get the test in for the decoupler, so I could have tried that at 400, 500, but I think I'm going to be slowed down quite a bit more than that by then. Maybe not. I guess we'll review the tape a little bit. But actually deploying the parachute while my ship is A, decelerating, B, has to be somewhere between 110 meters per second and 410. That's going to be a little dicey, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's going to fly, but we still do get to see some sparks here. Or at least we should, as we're starting to hit the upper atmosphere. So at least we should get a light show, and not just from the sunset. Come on, little shippy. Bill is kind of excited. That's good, because you're about to catch on fire. Now, the other thing that I didn't mention, because I didn't have a chance to last time, is that if I had put radial parachutes on that for that part to be recovered instead of debris, you can actually get money from that. And that'd be something that hopefully I can show here, because hopefully this capsule should survive. So we are... did the parachute deploy? Oh, I've actually missed my window for deployment, barely. Well, not just that, but I missed it and I was going way too fast. So, yeah, you don't want to go into high space to test that. I guess I need to make an actual flight to try and test that. But at least, that's kind of ironic, because I could have actually... No, because I'm going too slow to decouple. So yeah, those are some pretty narrow bands. Because you see, we're at this altitude range right now. If I had not deployed my parachute, maybe I'd be going at the right speed to do that. So I screwed up one, I screwed up both. Cool. Alright, well, let's at least splash down. For science. Has my parachute actually deployed yet? No, it won't for a little while longer. So let's get closer. What's the parachute deployment at? It should be 500 meters. Crew report. Cancel. No reason for that right now. Bill's gonna get an EVA in a second. There's the moon, nice and high up above, so Once you get to 500, deploy and time accelerate, because now things are not going to die. There is still physical time acceleration problems, but note that this only took 15 minutes. That's 15 minutes, can save you on car insurance or can actually get you out into space. As reputation goes up dynamically, so it's not like I get something extra except for my crew surviving here. And there we go, splash down. And there is your little autosave. And let's go ahead and EVA bill. So we can get the EVA report, keep the data. It's spectacularly wet, and get a surface sample. It appears to dramatically increase the surface humidity of anything it touches. One of my favorite lines in this game. So let's see here. Can I actually get Bill back in? No. Unfortunately. Alright. I'd like to get him back in the capsule. There we go. So that way I can add all that and get this together just to show you what it's like to recover your vessel. Right, so notice even more prestige and everything. You still get your summary here. All of your sciences, recovery after a suborbital flight, Kerbin's water, Kerbin's surface sample, which surface samples are very important. They do add up for the signs in here, but I got 64 signs from that mission. Parts, look at the refunds that I get here for all the monopropellant I bought back, for the parachute return, for the command pod return. You don't get it for everything, but you get it for enough, and extra reputation. So I'm now at 200 something reputation, or a little bit better than that. I'm not in yellow reputation. Still pretty good for a first day of a place's science. And you can see from here that I get different goals, whether it's testing the LV909, which this will actually let me get it without unlocking it. Testing the liquid fuel engine here, radial mount parachute, and like I said, those will actually unlock them for me. So let me go ahead and grab these just to show you, because they're not actually, I don't have them unlocked right here. Test the Seprotron. I don't know if I want to commit myself to that just yet. Radial decoupler while in flight. And then test the Rockamax solid booster in flight over Kerbal. That's one I definitely don't have unlocked. And I do have a little bit of time to do that. And note that there's a huge reputation gain for this, because this is a 2-star mission. And this is Rockamax Conglomerate. I'll read this. The awesome frequency at which we find ourselves, proving nice theories about how the Rockamax back solid booster did work as expected, was making an evidently overworked team from Rockamax Conglomerate pulling another all-nighter feel definitely notorious. Oh, I love procedurally generated stuff. That eventually made it clear that doing a full-scale test was a simple way to learn the Rockamax back solid booster did work as expected. So as a result of that apparently okay chain of events, this is where you come in. So you only have 2 days to actually accept this mission. And you can see the archives for things I've completed, such as escaping the atmosphere, such as launching a vessel, such as setting an altitude record. Note that I don't have another one here because I'm still looking to orbit Kerbin, so that has no deadline. Pretty good. Let's go to the let's go this real quick, and then I'll call it a wrap for now, because we have this ship here, which was flawed design, but it did alright. But notice the propulsion here. These in blue are experimental, yet I'm still charged for using them, but I can actually attach them to my ship. So like if I want to do, this is kind of one of the builds that I like doing. For instance, only 2 of these are what I need. Would be nice if I could experiment with some landing struts too. But here we go. Decouplers as well. Let's put a bunch of these on here. I think 4 should be plenty. And this is definitely enough to get us into orbit. Radial mount parachutes. Let's go ahead and put 2 of these on here. Let's go ahead and put a communication device on here as well as some sciencing. If I was really good, I could probably land this on Memmis, but we're not going to play that game today. So let's see, we have our little spooky antennas. I really only need 1, but I like the weight balance. So I don't have any sub-assemblies yet, but notice the radial. These are experimental. They want these to be tested, and they need to be tested at a certain height, at a certain weight here. So we have the parachute. That's not going to be from an orbital thing here. So stacked decoupler, test same thing here. Radial decoupler at a altitude of 8,000 to 1,600 at that speed. Possible that I can do that. And what? They want me to test these at 19. Okay, this is going to be funny, because they want me to actually build a vessel that'll let me test these at 19,000 to 23. And you're going to see real quick that the design that I have in mind is not really going to work too well. Because, let's see your propulsion. Here's your big boosters. This is what we like to see here. Unfortunately, the way I designed this ship is not going to play very nicely with that. So we'll put these... I don't need 4, I only need... Really, why am I getting 4? Crazy town. Okay, I know why I'm getting 4, but... That's not going to give me 1. Anyway, designing ships still can be a little messy. So we do get this. Let's just go with the 1. Because we do want the goo canister on here. And we do want the goo canister over here. Close enough. Yeah, close enough. But see, just like this, you have highlighted blue parts. They can work. That's kind of how you can skip the tech tree a little bit. But you only have them for a limited time, and that doesn't matter too much early on in the game when you're just flying around the Kerbal system. But later on, it does matter quite a bit more. But you know, that's a pretty good point to stop here. This is just a good look at career mode real quick, the new budget system. You can see right now that this is costing me money, but money's not really a huge issue for me at this point. Once I get into more ambitious designs, maybe it will. But this game is also designed in a way that people like me who've played Kerbal Space Program for a long time are not necessarily going to feel it the same way that other people might. People that are just starting out. People who haven't had experience landing on bodies far away. So you got to keep that in mind if you are trying to go all hardcore and make your way into this and say, if people start saying career mode's easy, just remember that not everyone's had the benefit of playing this game for years. But that's it for now. This is Way to Fail. We're going to hit the launch pad. I might as well launch it, and we'll call this a rapid orbit for you guys. For those of you who don't know, so I'm going to be focusing on actually trying to get into an orbit. The LV-909 is great for that because it is a very fuel-efficient thingamabob. So let's see here. All of these tests are going to fail, except for maybe the LV-909. But yeah, that once again, that speed band is it's going to be a little rough. So I'm going to be going a lot faster than that by that point. But let's fly out of here. 4 solid boosters. I like that I'm not rotating like crazy right now. There's my shadow going up, up, up in the air. And here we go, just the same. Once again, if your quest is for actually getting the actual altitude here, going into orbit is not going to be your goal. But since my goal is to actually get into orbit, that's okay. So, radial decoupler. Am I going to be going fast enough to actually test it? Am I going to be high enough to actually test it? I think so. Got to get to 440. Yeah, I'm actually going to be able to test it. So let's actually go ahead. Yeah, that's not how I want to rotate. There we go. Oh, my speed. Oh, was I going to... Oh, no, I got it. Oh, my God. This is not how we get into orbits. There we go. Nav ball saved me. Alright. So here we go. Let's keep the data from the upper atmosphere, because that can be pretty hard to get that and keep later. Now, the LV-909 does not make electrical charge, so you actually got to really watch your electric charge here. Much better to do it with batteries, but what can you do? So like I said, my goal is to get into orbit. How am I doing? Probably piss poor right now. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I have enough fuel, because I'm starting out high enough. But we want to get... Yeah, I'm doing pretty good on fuel. I am used to having the engine sounds right there, but I want to get one from the upper atmosphere and one from space while in orbit. And we do have Jebediah back in here, so they do your little default thing. So let's see here. Once we get our apoapsis going up quite a bit, as you can see, the countdown time is slowly approaching 0. But you're going to see, because this engine is so freaking efficient, and it used to be one of the most efficient ones in the game before the NASA update, which just kind of blew some of the old engines out of the water. But hey, it's NASA, so what can you do? Rocket science, right? what you're going to see here is that this is going to eventually start counting back up because we're going into the upper reaches of the atmosphere. There's not as much air resistance. So I should be able to keep this trajectory and make my way up into orbit, which, like I said, is my last goal here. I know it makes the video go a little longer, which may not be what some people want. But hey, here we are, flying in space. Actually did get a successful test. Cool. Got some good datas. Got some good prestige, got some good science. And you can see here that we're at 13 seconds and we are starting to really push into the atmosphere, so that's good. Maybe not the most magically fuel-efficient thing ever, but probably enough to get into a stable 70,000 meter orbit, which is all we're really asking for at this point. I said maybe it's enough. You can see the arc right here is going faster. Now it's 14, 15. Yeah, we're going to be okay. Just going to keep watching it. As like I said, we're going to call this a video once I do get into orbit. Let's see what this mystery goo experiment says. Probably from the upper atmosphere. Let's reset it. So I think we can do better from space. Not funny. But I said it anyway. Yeah, and that's one thing that people forget to appreciate is that, yeah, there's all kinds of, like, interplanetary missions that you can do or anything, but getting off your home rock takes a lot of energy. A whole lot of energy. Actually, it's one of the most fuel-expensive things you can do in the entire game. It's just getting into orbit and then doing everything else afterwards, which is why it's important to do things like build an orbiting space station eventually, and actually make refueling happen out there. So we were just going to go for a 70,000 meter orbit. Or 70,000, let's go for like 72,000, because that's all they require. And you know, we don't go for the 33 pieces of flair around here. Actually, I had someone tell me that wasn't a very funny movie, which I guess is not the first thing, but they said they didn't like it because they didn't get it. And that just sounds blasphemous to me. It's Office Space, if you don't know. Alright, so that's way too much. That's not enough. But if all we really have to do is follow the maneuver node. And see here, alright. Let's get down here. We got an estimated burn of a minute. So for those of you who don't know about getting into orbit, what you want to do is to follow your maneuver node, make it like that. Get your marker on the prograde maneuver node, which is down here, and then wait till about it being time for you to actually fly, as we are about to be in space. So you want to start your burn at like 30 or 31, 32 seconds. So here we go. Let's do the second mystery goo. There we go. Missed my mark. Space near Kerbal. Still should be fine. Should be fine. So I got definitely about 6,000 meters per second of stuff in here. I really hope so. I could be in a lot of trouble right now, because I did start that burn a little late. But I think we're going to be okay. I didn't start it that late. And my fuel situation's still looking fantastic. So this is, if you haven't seen an orbit before, this is what an orbit looks like. You can use experimental parts to get you there. And that's a really nice new addition for career mode. And in a way, it does make it a little easier, but you know what? Screw it. Kerbal Space Program has a really high learning curve, and sometimes you need that extra boost. So we just get the periaps right here, 30, 40, 50, 70... Whoop! 71. We got a stable orbit. Alright, so you can see the marker here. It says contract complete. Huge boost for all this. Mission controls confirmed stable orbit has been achieved. Nicely done. Look at all that money. That's science. That other reputation thing, and if we look at our marker here, huge boost. You can actually see I'm going up towards blue rep, but that's another thing for another time. This is way to fail, going in orbit around Kerbal. Kerbal's the star here. We're always going in orbit around that. I don't have any mods installed right now. That'll change, but Kerbal Space Program is a lot of fun. Definitely check it out. The first contract update is great. It adds a lot of stuff to it. Just even from the fact that now you have missions to run here and it's all streamlined within the game. that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to subscribe if you like what you saw. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I really enjoy sharing this with you all. But that's it for now. Stay tuned for more Kerbal Space Program and other content. For now, I'm going to be sciencing over the different areas of the world. Take care.